Now let's get a little bit more detail on those job cuts now at the energy firm Npower. The company's announced a planned restructuring of its customer services and back office admin teams, all subject to a consultation, of course. Well, if it goes ahead, it will reduce the company's total UK headcount by about 2,000. 1,460 of those will be redundancies in back office jobs, which would be outsourced to Indian firm Tata Consultancy Services. Well, it would affect the company's offices in Stoke-on-Trent, Albury and Sunderland. A further 540 existing Npower staff would then be transferred to customer services firm Capita, which would mean its call centre's functions would stay within the UK. Well, Npower's parent company, that's the German firm RWE, announced earlier this month that it plans to cut almost 7,000 jobs across Europe in the next 2 years. And news of Npower's plans for job cuts come after the firm reported a 3% fall in profits to £176 million in the first half of 2013. Well, we can now speak to the company's chief executive, Paul Massara. Mr. Massara, many thanks for joining us here on the programme. In your press release, you say that this drastic restructuring of the company is about improving customer experience. How is cutting this number of jobs going to help improve the customer experience?
We're committed to getting customer service right, and we haven't always done that. And therefore, teaming up and partnering with world-class players like TCS and Capita, who already provide services to the likes of National Trust, Google, M&S, who really provide some of the best world-class service, enables us effectively to improve our customer service. It gives us flexibility, it gives us a better customer experience.
But Mr. Massara, the timing is unfortunate, isn't it? Only last week, Npower topped the energy company's complaints league, according to the Consumer Futures Watchdog, in which Npower's performance was branded unacceptable.
Well, I think that's part of the rationale why we had to take such a drastic decision. This is a really tough decision. It's a tough decision for our staff. We found this difficult, but when we looked at how we were going to get it right for customers and the fact that people are worried about their bills, we have to do everything we can to make sure that our service is as good as it can be and our costs are as low as they can be. We only control 16% of the bill, but that 16% that we do control, we absolutely have to get our cost as low as possible.
Mr. Massara, on keeping costs down, you are raising your prices by an astounding 10.4%. That's more than most of your competitors. EDF, by comparison, has put theirs up by just over 3%. In the past 6 months, you've recorded £180 million in profit. With these numbers, how can you then justify cutting the jobs of over 1,400 people?
So I think we need to unpack that a bit. For a start, EDF's rise of 3.9% was subject to the fact that eco changes would happen to the bill, and we still haven't heard yet exactly how that's going to happen. Hopefully in the autumn statement we will. And if those come through, then we will also be cutting our rise that we announced before. In terms of profitability, in the first 6 months of this year, we've only earned 3% margin on our retail business. And we, in the long term, would like to get to a stage where it's 5%, which we think is a fair and reasonable return. The reality is that we have to make some difficult decisions, and these decisions to offshore our back office, let me be clear, our front office, that's voice, when people call us on the call centre, will be onshore, will still be UK voice, but to take our back office, that's a well-trodden path that many people have already done. And we need to do that in order to remain competitive in this difficult market when affordability is such a big issue for our customers.
But Mr. Massara, do you acknowledge that the overall picture for Npower doesn't look great? You're cutting jobs, you're topping the complaints league, and yet you're raising prices considerably. It doesn't look like it's a company in great health.
I absolutely fundamentally disagree with that. We are in the middle of a turnaround where effectively we are putting customers at the heart of everything we do. And that means that we are making these difficult decisions today. It means that we are investing in our systems, investing in our people to get it right. And we are committed to becoming #1 in terms of customer service by the end of 2015. And that is absolutely every one of my goal and all of my teams to get that right.
Paul Massara, CEO of Npower, many thanks for joining us here on the programme.
Thank you.